Hello, my future AI artists. Welcome to today's lecture. In our last lecture, we learned the basics of using prompt to generate various types of images. I hope you all have a good understanding of how to use prompt by now. Today, we're going to talk about a very important modifier in prompt, and that's artist. This modifier allows us to generate images in the style of famous artists like Vincent van Gogh, Claude Monet, and many others. So get ready to take your prompt skills to the next level with the artist modifier. Can you imagine if Vincent van Gogh was asked to paint a picture of a fancy robot from the future? What do you think it would look like in his style of painting? You've got 10 seconds to come up with an idea for this. Once the time is up, we'll reveal the results. Okay, 10 seconds passed, and let's take a look at the generated image and see what it looks like. Interesting. It looks like Vincent van Gogh might have had his own unique interpretation of what a robot looks like. In this example, I used 4 different samplers, and we will go into more detail about samplers in future classes. As you can see, these images are very close to Vincent van Gogh's painting style. If Van Gogh had lived until the 21st century, perhaps this is what his artwork would look like. It's amazing to see how AI technology can simulate the style of a famous artist like Van Gogh and create such stunning artwork. Since you have already seen this example, now let's talk about how to use the artist modifier. Using artist modifiers in our prompt to give our result an artistically unique style. Typically, we place this type of modifier at the beginning or end of a prompt. To give you a better understanding, let me provide an example of how the order of modifiers can affect the generated image. Here I generated 2 images, one with the artist modifier at the beginning of the prompt and the other with the artist modifier at the end of the prompt. As you can see, the first image looks like a robot with the face of Vincent van Gogh, resembling his famous self-portrait. On the other hand, the second image is a more accurate depiction of a robot. This example shows that the order of modifiers can have a significant impact on the final image. As I mentioned earlier, the artist modifier has a strong influence on the image's style, and placing it at the beginning of the prompt may alter the image's main focus. Therefore, it is generally recommended to place the artist modifier at the end of the prompt to ensure that it does not interfere with the primary prompt's intended message. The order of modifiers in your prompt depends on your specific use case. You should consider the importance of each modifier and how it affects the final output image. By experimenting with different orders of modifiers, you can find the best arrangement that achieves your desired results. I hope this example helps you understand the importance of the order of modifiers in generating images with stable diffusion. Now, you might be wondering where you can find these relevant artists to get inspired. Well, I have a really valuable resource to share with you today. Let's take a look together. Here I listed some famous artists who have made significant contributions to the art world. 2 of these artists are Greg Rutkowski and H.R. Giger, whose works you might already be familiar with if you've seen some other people's prompts before. Greg Rutkowski is a talented digital artist who is known for creating thrilling and fantastic scenes with strong storytelling elements and a vivid fantasy color palette. On the other hand, H.R. Giger is a legendary Swiss artist who is famous for his unique science fiction artworks that often depict a fusion of biological and mechanical forms, creating a strong futuristic atmosphere. Now let's take a look at a very valuable website that collects a large number of artist lists that can be directly used on Stable Diffusion. This is currently the most comprehensive website and is the official resource website for Stable Diffusion. The artists are listed in alphabetical order from A to Z, so it's easy to find who you're looking for. What's really neat about this website is that you'll notice that some artists are really good at drawing people, while others are really talented at drawing landscapes. I won't go into too much detail about each artist's specific talents, but I'll give you the website address so you can check it out for yourselves. Now, there's another really comprehensive artist directory on this website, but unfortunately it doesn't have any preview images. However, if you've seen a prompt posted on any website that mentions an artist, chances are you'll be able to find that artist on this website. So, let's get exploring and see what kind of amazing artwork we can find on this website. Let's scroll down and see if there is any art style we like. I will pick this one. If you want to use the style of a particular artist, you can simply copy their name from the artist directory, go back to Stable Diffusion, and add by before their name at the end of your prompt. Now let's open the web interface of Stable Diffusion. Type in the same prompt we used before, but this time add the name of a famous artist at the end. Then hit the Generate button and wait for a moment. Okay, here we go. And we've got ourselves a Labrador puppy painted by Albert Lynch. And here is your challenge. Pause the video for a moment, open your Stable Diffusion web UI page, and add an artist modifier for your favorite artist at the end of your prompt. I hope you've completed your challenge, and by now you've been able to generate an image in the style of your choice with the help of your favorite artist's touch. Now that you're familiar with using the artist modifier, let's take a look at some common issues that may arise when using it. One common issue you may encounter is wondering why sometimes, even if you've included the artist's name in your prompt, the result doesn't turn out as expected. The first reason is that you may not have placed the artist modifier at the beginning or end of your prompt, and other parts of the prompt overweighted. Let's see some example. In this example you can see, in the first set of pictures, Van Gogh's style is less evident, while the second set shows a stronger resemblance to his brushstrokes and techniques. The second reason is that, for example, the medium modifier is a portrait, but your artist modifier is someone who only paints landscapes. This means Stable Diffusion may not have any portrait paintings by that particular artist, which can result in an imperfect portrait such as an unattractive facial expression. The third reason is that your medium modifier is a photo, and you've used modifiers such as super realistic or photorealistic in your description. However, your artist modifier is someone like Van Gogh or another traditional painter. The fourth reason is that your prompt may have been copied directly from another website with keywords like Unreal Engine, Unity, or Blender. These keywords are used to process 3D effects, which we'll cover in the next lesson. Remember, if you want to generate a painting-style image, these keywords can pollute your prompt, which is why I don't recommend copying prompts from other websites. Even if you generate a similar image, you may be confused when you encounter issues. When it comes to using the artist modifier in Stable Diffusion, there are a few pro tips that can help you get the most out of it. Firstly, it's important to be careful when using the medium modifier in conjunction with artist. This is because each artist tends to have their own particular areas of focus. And if you're not sure whether a particular medium is applicable to a given artist, you may end up with an image that doesn't really capture their style or aesthetic. For example, if you were to try to generate a pencil sketch of a robot by Vincent van Gogh, the resulting image might not really look like something Van Gogh would have created, since he was more known for his paintings in oil and other media. Another important thing to keep in mind is that the list of artists included in the official Stable Diffusion artist list is not necessarily exhaustive. If there's a particular artist whose style you really like, but you're not sure whether they'll work well with Stable Diffusion, you can try including their name in your prompt by typing by, then the artist. This can help give Stable Diffusion a better sense of the particular style or aesthetic you're looking for, even if that artist isn't specifically listed in the official artist list. For example, let's say you're a fan of the 16th century German painter Hans von Aachen. But you're not sure if Stable Diffusion will be able to recognize his style. You can copy his name and back to Stable Diffusion artist list page, press Ctrl key and F key to search. We can see his name is not here, but this doesn't mean Stable Diffusion can't recognize his style. You can try including his name in your prompt and adjusting the CFG scale to around 15, and then see what kind of results you get. Even if von Aachen isn't specifically listed in the artist list, Stable Diffusion may still be able to generate images that capture his particular style and aesthetic. Finally, it's worth noting that you can use the artist modifier to include multiple artists in your prompt by separating their names with commas. This can be a great way to create images that draw on multiple artistic styles and aesthetics, but it's important to keep in mind that the weight given to each artist may vary depending on the order in which their names appear. Typically, the artist listed first will have the most influence on the resulting image. So it's important to think carefully about the order in which you list your artist if you're trying to create a specific kind of image. Okay, that is all for today's lecture. I hope you have a deep understanding about artist modifier by now. And I've provided 3 very valuable websites about artists for you. As always, I encourage you to continue exploring and experimenting with different prompts and modifiers to find the best combination that suits your creative vision. With Stable Diffusion, the possibilities are endless, and there's always something new to discover. And in next lecture, we will talk about the advanced prompt structure, including lighting, rendering, and more. Thank you for attending to this course, and I will see you in the next lecture.